Would you all please rise for the posting of the colors and then remain standing for the national anthem. The national anthem will be sung by the senior members of the choir under the direction of Jamie Pulbicki. You can be seated. On behalf of the Somerset School Board and Administration, good afternoon and welcome to the 98th graduation ceremony of Somerset High School. Our strategic plan is the roadmap to our future. The mission of the Somerset Schools is together we engage, educate, and empower all learners, bridging their passions to pathways to create successful futures and positively contribute to our local and global communities. Our core values are how we behave along that path. We believe that each and every person is capable of success. We believe each and every person is accepted and valued. We believe in empowering all learners. We believe change is our opportunity for growth. We believe involved communities foster strong schools. We believe lifelong learning is essential for personal growth. And we believe in cultivating leaders. I want to thank you all personally for being here today to send our graduates off to their next adventure. Graduates, welcome and congratulations on your accomplishments. For sure, the last couple of years have been filled with challenges, but I hope you found also opportunities. I'd like to take a few moments to recognize some of the people that made this day possible for each and every one of you. First, can we just take a moment to remember our friend, our coach, mentor, teacher, and colleague, Bruce Larson. His dedication to the students of Somerset schools was beyond reproach. Next, to all the veterans, active duty, and past military, would you please stand up and be recognized? Thank you for your past service, and for those that are active, for your present service. And I believe we have 2 graduates that are going into service. Stand up. Just stay standing. What branch? Marine Corps? Air Force. I'd like to recognize all the school district employees that are here. Would all the district past and present employees please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service to our children. Up here on stage with me is Principal Shannon Donnelly, Athletic Director and Assistant Principal Trent Probst, President of the School Board Lacey Oster, and Vice President Matt Foucault. The remaining board members of education, if you're here, please stand. Ian McDonald, Lori Belargin, Marge Belill, Bruce Belargin, and Cherie Link. And I see we just have a couple here. And thank you all for what you do for our children. In my 42 years in education, I've never been through anything like what we've been through in the last couple of years. I've always believed a person or an organization will be judged on how they perform during tough times. To the staff and school board, you have risen far above my expectations in dealing with the challenges over the past couple of years to get these students to this point. Thank you very much. To the class of 2022, I'm so very proud of each and every one of you for your perseverance and the way you handled the challenges we faced over the last 2 years. To say this was a stressful time in our lives is an understatement. You handled it with grace and class. Thank you all. To the class of 2022, my hope for you is that you'll realize that you all have the faith, power, and courage to pursue the intricate path of your personal journey, a path charted by the mysterious magnet of destiny, but obscured by distractions. You must trust your hearts, read the seemingly inconspicuous signs, and understand that as you look to fulfill your dream, it looks to find you just the same, if you let it. It's all about the journey. Finally, stay close to your family, parents, and faith. These are the support systems that will get you through the tough times and will help you celebrate all the good things I know you're about to accomplish. On behalf of the Somerset schools, parents, thank you for supporting public education and allowing us to work with your children for the past 13 years. To this year's graduates, congratulations on your accomplishments and good luck in your future endeavors.
On behalf of the Somerset School Board, I'd like to welcome everyone to this year's graduation ceremony. It is a pleasure to be here with the class of 2022 to address the graduates, family, staff, and our community. As we honor and celebrate our graduates for this milestone, I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge our teachers, administrators, faculty, parents, guardians, family, and friends who supported our students and made this day possible. Our graduates got here with the support of so many people. Take a moment to reflect on the individuals that brought you here today. You graduates are the ones who did it. But someone encouraged you, someone believed in you, someone loved you, someone read stories to you, someone told you the truth when you may not have wanted to hear it. Someone gave you the strength to achieve the goals and supported you when you failed. We have had people who have influenced us from the day we were born, through elementary school, middle school, and most recently, high school. As your high school days are most recent in your mind, all of these stages have helped shape and support you to who you are right now. Whoever it may be in helping you to this decision, in providing educational achievement, love, and support, thank you. Last week, my kindergartner's son brought home an assignment for a kindergarten time capsule to gather personal letters to tell them how special they are, funny things they do, or whatever we'd like to remember about their kindergarten year. It read that high school graduation may seem far away for your kindergarten child, but the time will fly by and they will be graduating before you know it. Some of you may have that time capsule or recall a similar task. Parents, you may be relating at this moment, asking yourself, where has time gone? How has my child gone so quickly from getting their first backpack and heading off to kindergarten, and with the blink of an eye, are in a cap and gown celebrating their high school graduation? As you leave Somerset High School, you begin the next chapter of your journey. For some, that may include going off to college or beginning trade school. For others, you may go right off to the workforce. Whatever path you choose and roads you explore, go forward knowing that you are well prepared for what lies ahead of you in life. We've done our best to carry out our district's mission to engage, empower, and educate all learners, bridging their passions to pathways to create successful futures and positively contribute to our local and global communities. Take these building blocks you've been provided to do great things. Learn from your mistakes, take risks, be confident. Class of 2022, your high school years have not been normal. We've gone through obstacles in a global pandemic that none of us ever thought was possible. Strength and resilience have come out in us learning new things, respecting different views and opinions, and seeking out the good, as in every hardship, we seek a lesson. Graduates, you have made a difference and your future is bright. Stay true to yourself. You are a graduate of Somerset High School. You have done and will continue to do great things. On behalf of the Somerset School Board, I'd like to congratulate you, graduates, and your families. I wish you all the best of luck in the future endeavors and moving forward. Make us proud, Somerset Spartans. I have no doubt that you will.
Good afternoon. I am Shannon Donnelly, the very proud principal of Somerset High School. I would like to formally congratulate the class of 2022 as your school career comes to an end and new beginnings have arrived. At this time, I would like to recognize this year's honorary teachers chosen by the class of 22 to lead the processional. Mr. Damon Barda, please stand. Damon is a science teacher at Somerset Elementary School, and Mr. Corey Krybeck, who is a teacher at Somerset Elementary. Year in and year out, these two educators continue to have a profound impact on students within the Somerset School District. It is clear that the two of you have touched and inspired the class of 22, and on behalf of the district, I want to thank you for all you have done for these students and many others both in and out of the classroom. One more round of applause for our teachers, please. I would also like to congratulate the Somerset School District staff who will be retiring at the conclusion of this school year. I will read their names and their years of service, and we can hold applause until the end. Carol Switzer, elementary support staff, 9.5 years. Sherry Hosley, support staff and pupil services support, 15 years. George Leopold, buildings and grounds, 10 years. Mary Jane Milkey, middle school support staff, 18 years. Judy Young, middle school special education teacher, 4 years. Tracy Yendestead, middle school library media center, 15 years. Debbie Stevens, middle school family and consumer ed, 18 years. And Dr. Mark Bizik, Somerset District Administrator, 6 years. Their combined years of service total 95.5 years. Simply amazing. On behalf of the entire school district and Somerset community, I thank you for your service and dedication to our students and wish you the very best as you enter retirement. In 2000, who's got cheaters? Okay. In 2018, we began a new tradition within the Somerset School District by developing a Hall of Fame. Somerset High School graduates have the opportunity to be honored for their success both during and after their time at Somerset High School in areas such as athletics, military service, community service, the arts, and business. This year I have the pleasure of inducting another Somerset High School graduate into our Hall of Fame for her outstanding community service. At this time, please welcome to the stage our 2022 Somerset School District Hall of Fame inductee, Mrs. Nancy Vanas. And now I'm going to brag about you a little bit, okay? All right. So Nancy is joined today by her husband, Andy, son, and a family friend. She is a member of the Somerset High School class of 1958 and was a class salutatorian. She and her husband, Andy, have 3 sons, Dan, Kyle, and Neil, who have all graduated from Somerset High School as well. While at SHS, Nancy participated in forensics, FHA, the class play, cheerleading, and marching band. After high school, she went on to graduate from St. Joseph's School of Nursing in 1961. Nancy worked as a nurse at St. Joe's Hospital in 1962. She then worked at Holy Family Hospital in New Richmond from 1963 to 1966, and again from 1981 to 1998. She and Andy opened the first laundromat in New Richmond in 1970, and Nancy retired from nursing in 1998. Most recently, Nancy was a member of the Somerset Village Board from 1998 to 2007, was a charter member of the Friends of the Library, and served on the Somerset Library Board from 1988 to 1996. She was also a charter member of the Somerset Food Pantry and served on that board from 2014 to 2021. Nancy also continues to be an active member of the St. Anne's Parish. As you can see, Nancy has made an unbelievable impact on the Somerset community. Her service has positively impacted countless Somerset families and the entire community. Nancy, on behalf of the school district, I thank you for all that you have done and continue to do. Congratulations on your 2022 Somerset School District Hall of Fame induction.
Thank you so much. I'm just so proud to accept this plaque. I just want you to know how much I love the school, I love the village, I love the community. So please be proud with me. Thank you.
And now my message to the class of 2022. I vividly remember you entering this building as freshmen, and I cannot believe that 4 years have already passed, and here we are celebrating your graduation. Seeing the smiles on your faces over the last week in particular have been truly wonderful, and it had me wondering, how did it take this long for Landon and Ez to show up in our school riding a Segway through the hallways? Who knew we could have so much fun sleeping in the library earlier this week? And who knew that Mr. Rossmiller could do the worm across the entire dance floor at prom? I'm going to hang on to those smiles, as during your 4 years here, there were times where smiles were really hard to find. As a class, you experienced 1 year of normalcy as freshmen. You then faced an unexpected school closure as sophomores. And juniors, you withstood an entire year of disruption that can only be understood truly by those of us that were here living it day in and day out. And as seniors, we saw a bit more normalcy headed our way once again, and then we were faced with an unimaginable loss this spring. And now here we are. You persevered, you kept going, and your smiles are emerging once again. I am so thankful for your smiles, as this class has truly been one of the very best. While you have all had an individually unique experience at Somerset High School, there's one thing that all of you will have in common forever. SHS will always be a place that you can call home, and you will always be part of the Spartan family. Class of 2022, I am beyond excited to see what this world has in store for you. Thank you for all you have contributed to SHS. I wish you nothing but the very best. Thank you. And I'm back. At this time, I am honored to introduce our Class of 2022 honorary student speaker. This young woman was chosen by her peers to speak to you today. She has demonstrated an enormous amount of dedication and passion to both her academics and extracurricular activities over the course of the last 4 years. We are so proud of her and look forward to seeing all of the wonderful ways that she is going to impact the world when she leaves SHS and heads to the University of St. Thomas in the fall. Please join me in welcoming the Class of 2022 honorary student speaker to the stage, Ms. Drew Krybeck.
I'm going to forget everything about high school and everything we learned, because we never learned anything important. During the concluding months of high school, this has been an explicative frequently heard from us as seniors. It's a reflexive thought to those of us desperate to be done and move on, confident that our succeeding adventures are infinitely greater. As refreshing as it might be to claim that we never learned anything valuable in high school, it's a statement in need of disproving. And to disprove this, I'm not going to discuss the lengths of information covered in the courses we took. I'm rather going to focus on what came from our shared experiences, where we together grew into the people we are today. I believe we learned several valuable lessons, and if we reflect on them, I also believe they can be advantageous to our futures. We learned how to be versatile people. For all of high school, we were simultaneously students, athletes, sons, daughters, boyfriends, girlfriends, just friends, best friends, and mortal enemies. This alone had us putting on several different facades, depending on who we were with and how we thought they viewed us. And as teenagers, we got a lot of slack for this. But I think the fact is often missed that we were acting like so many different people because we were being treated like so many different people. For 4 years, we were kids that had to do whatever the teachers told us, limited by assignment guidelines, dress codes, and plenty of it's a school night curfews. But for 4 years, we were also almost adults that could get tattoos, open bank accounts, and leave high school midday to go to a college that we attended classes at. We were told that due to our lack of life experience, we didn't know anything about the real world. But in the same breath, we were asked what we were going to do with the rest of our lives in that real world. Every day was a fight to balance the coexistence of multiple identities, with some identities self-made and others assigned. We were functioning in a world that did not want to confirm just yet what it considered us. And when you take that into account, we were functioning pretty well. And that is the most powerful thing that came out of our contradiction of an existence as high schoolers. Between the many versions of ourselves, we were still able to find individuality, authenticity, and know what we wanted with our own lives. We learned to put passion into the things we do. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about schoolwork, because even though we worked hard, I think most of us could agree that any assignment given after March likely didn't receive our best effort, but that is besides the point. We put passion into the things we did besides school, the things that weren't mandatory. It's easy to say that since extracurriculars aren't something we're doing after high school or making a career out of, then they aren't worth investing so much time and effort into. As I'm sure we've all realized by now, 4 years is short. And because it's so short, it's also easy to say that there's no reason to dedicate yourself to something that will end after 4 years. While these statements may hold some veracity, I'm proud to say that none of us have acted like it. For 4 years, we have put in the work. Almost every single one of us has dedicated time outside of school to choir, band, student council, art, NHS, musicals, plays, robotics, fishing team, and or sports. In our brief time, we set goals and we filled the trophy cases. Fortunately, many of us have experienced the day that our time in these beloved sports and activities comes to an end. This time may serve us well in the future as an addition to a resume or even a fun story to tell the grandkids one day. But even more, our time in these sports instilled habits of diligence within us. Mr. Larson may be largely to thank for this. While diligence alone will ensure us success in years to come, alongside passion, they will together ensure us fulfillment. I know that no one here will regret the time they spent on their extracurricular endeavors, because time cannot be wasted if it is filled with passion. And finally, we learned how to have fun in any conditions. Now, school doesn't always get the reputation of being the most chill or fun place. In fact, a lot of time, we convinced ourselves it was the complete opposite. A fun-free zone where we were always doing work, always following the strictest rules, and being yelled at by all the teachers. Now, whether or not this is true, doesn't matter because we ultimately had some fun. No ban on school Chromebook computer games could stop us. We found ways to have fun in our free time, crowding 8 people onto a table even though the library was a silent flex space that only had 2 board games with all the pieces missing. But don't worry, we were all in on the fun. Upperclassmen, lowerclassmen, even kids that were supposed to be in a class. That one was easy, one just had to pull the going to the bathroom card, and you'd have bought yourself a round or 2 of Uno. Nothing could stop us from having fun. And if we needed further entertainment, we knew which teachers' classrooms had the most snacks and which of their whiteboards could use some drawing on. We also knew how to have fun at school events. What could have been your average high school basketball game is instantly elevated by our student section's signature ability to heckle opposing teams. Respectfully, of course, or until Ms. Donnelly stepped in. And at football games, as baby powder consumed the air, many of us weren't exactly sure what was going on in the game, but equipped with face paint, cowbells, and the best obnoxious cheers, we were all sure we were having fun, learning to make the best of every single moment. I understand that it takes a strangely analytical person to find lessons among these seemingly trivial high school experiences, but that's me, and I'm honored to be able to put them into words. Out of the 720 days of high school, the majority of them likely felt repetitive or relatively unimportant, and it's easy to feel that way when you're in the midst of them. But now, as we stand here at the finale of those days, comforted by the knowledge we won't have to repeat them, we have nothing left but the privilege to reflect. And with this privilege comes power. The power to take whatever we want from our reflections. See what we want to see, hear what we want to hear, and remember what we want to remember. Now this is where I come in. When reflecting back on your time, I challenge you to remember the greater things we learned in high school. Beyond facts and formulas, remember how we learned versatility through individuality, the prominence of being passionate, and the ability to have enjoyment in any situation. Remember these things because tomorrow will perpetually be a mystery, but we will always be able to hold to these lessons for stability and guidance. Remember these things because we learn them from each other and we learn them about ourselves. Congratulations, class of 22. Good luck.
At this time, I'm thrilled to introduce our 2022 honorary staff speaker. This teacher was chosen by the senior class to speak today, and what an excellent choice it was. Our speaker just finished his 4th year of teaching at Somerset High School. At this time, allow me to introduce the man who knows all there is to know about commas, topic sentences, and thesis statements, Mr. Will Rossmiller.
Hello, parents and family members. Thank you all for being here today to support your graduate. Hey, class of 2022, how are we doing? We started this high school journey together 4 years ago, you all as freshmen, and me as a first-year teacher. Since then, I've had the privilege of teaching about 100 of you, sometimes in multiple classes. Now I'm honored to be here and see you off on your next adventure. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak. I'm sorry if I don't make it through this without tears. I'm also sorry for never learning how to correctly say sorry. You've all spent 4 years trying to teach me, and we're still here. This group has certainly kept me humble from the very beginning, but being serious, it's hard to put into words just how meaningful it is to be up here right now, and it's even harder to put into words what this fine group of individuals means to me. But I'll do my best, and I'll try to keep it together the best I can. I can remember your freshman year like it was yesterday. Maybe you can too. I'm still not totally convinced that it wasn't yesterday that you all walked into the high school as nervous first-year high school students. I was nervous with you on that first day. So nervous that on welcome back night, I introduced myself to multiple students as Will instead of Mr. Rossmiller. I can remember your freshman year, just kidding, we already did that. Since then, we've gotten more acquainted. During freshman year, we learned together. You all learned how to be high school students, and I learned how to be a teacher. All of us had fun along the way. Throughout that year, we wrote in our writer's notebooks, we read The Little Prince. We got to read The Little Prince, and I know you all loved it so much. And we finished off the year by reading To Kill a Mockingbird, or as some of you called it, How to Kill a Mockingbird. Just to be clear, the book is not a manual on bird killing. Just want to make that known. Between the reading and the writing, there are too many memories to recount. Getting to work with all of you that first year made me think, it made me laugh, and it made me decide that teaching was the thing I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Your sophomore, junior, and senior years moved in a flash. I watched as you dealt with COVID, a new building, the loss of people dear to you, and a variety of other hardships. You were asked to grow up before you might have been ready to, but through all of it, you kept going. This year, your senior year, I was so happy to have some of you return to my classroom to learn about business writing, creative writing, and college literature. During your last 3 years of high school outside of class, you let me read your papers for AP Lang as a grammar checker. A little bit nervous. You played in countless sporting events where I got to cheer you on, sometimes calling games on the Spartan live stream with Miss Wink, Mr. Wallen, and Mr. Anderson. You performed in musicals, plays, and concerts where I sat in the NPR and marveled at your talents. And most importantly, you all grew up. At least most of you grew up, to the young adults you are today. Seeing you all do amazing things, both big and small, during your time here is one of the most rewarding aspects of teaching. And that brings us to today, graduation day. Where'd all the time go? Many of you are probably excited to be done with this high school experience and are ready for the next thing. That could be a 2 or 4 year college, it could be joining the military, or it could be going straight into the workforce. Before you move forward with all of these fantastic plans, I want to share some insights that I've learned that I hope you remember as you venture off into the world. Oftentimes, commencement speeches can focus on the speaker instead of the people that they are speaking to. One of the greatest things about teaching is that you can oftentimes learn as much from the students as they learn from you. So today, I want to focus on what all of you have taught me that is most important in life. Think of this as your last high school lecture. And yes, there will be a tiny bit of homework at the end. So here we go. Here are the 3 things that I learned from the class of 2022 that I hope all of you remember as you venture off from here today. Number 1, you all taught me very early on the importance of leaving your comfort zone. When I first moved here, I was scared. I didn't know anyone. and I didn't want to take risks. In those first years and months of high school, many of you were feeling the same way. But slowly you came out of your shells. You took risks by sharing your perspective in class. You used your voice to be leaders both in and outside of the classroom. I gained the courage to be myself by learning from your example. Without your examples of courage, I wouldn't be working with my best friend on the Spartan live stream. Without what you taught me, I wouldn't be doing the worm at every single prom, and I most certainly wouldn't be up here today. I hope that as you go off on your next adventure, you continue to challenge yourself, take chances, and go beyond what makes you comfortable. Now, all of this risk-taking might lead to mistakes, but that leads me to our next lesson. Number 2, the second lesson I learned from all of you is that it's okay to make mistakes. Learning and improving never stops. Leaving your comfort zone is hard, but it's even more difficult that after you do so, you make a mistake and metaphorically fall flat on your face. Class of 2022, I hate to break it to you, but both you and I did a lot of metaphorically falling flat on our face that first year. But what we did after we made those mistakes is we got back up, we stuck with it. You were resilient. When an opportunity to better yourselves or learn new things came up, many of you took that opportunity when you made a mistake in class, sometimes in front of your peers, and you got better. There would be times, let's see here, all of you having that courage made me better as your teacher as well. There would be times when I would create a lesson, try it out in the morning class, realize that the lesson was terrible, and have to adopt it for the later class that day. Watching your example of self-improvement and growth motivated me to grow alongside you. The daunting truth of growing up is that on whatever path you choose, mistakes will always be a part of it. But there is another, more exciting truth. You get to decide what to do after those mistakes. What will you learn from them? A few years ago, I had a colleague by the name of Len Fike. Mr. Fike is an amazing teacher and human being. He had a phrase that he used all the time for teaching, and I think it applies to people in all fields and in life in general. He would say in his job, he was forever, never done. Initially, this phrase, forever, never done, can seem overwhelming, but I see it as liberating. We don't have to be perfect the first time we do something. In fact, we shouldn't expect to be perfect the first time we do something. What we need to do is learn from something when we aren't perfect. You taught me that mistakes are a part of being human, and that learning is something we continue to do. I hope you continue to be knowledge seekers. And lastly, you taught me that what is truly valuable in life are the connections and memories we make with the people we care about. No amount of money, no huge house or cool car can replace people, specifically you people. Very early on in my career, I realized how lucky I was to have the opportunity not just to be a teacher, but be your teacher, class of 2022. Getting to know you and working with so many of you has taught me that the connections we make are the greatest commodity we have as humans. It's through the connections we have with others that we build a sense of belonging. For many of us, those first days and weeks were pretty nerve-wracking, to say the least. Personally, I didn't know anyone and it felt like I didn't know how to do anything. But your kindness and acceptance, the connections we made me feel like this place that you call home could also be my home. I came to this school not knowing how long I would be here or what I might accomplish, but 4 years are up, and I have all the intentions of being a Spartan for life. That's because of all of you, and I can't thank you enough for that. You will stay with me right here, but you will also stay with me right here because of what you have taught me how to value in life. You will stay in these halls and this gym because of the connections you've made along the way and because of the legacy you leave to the future generations that will come through this building. I hope that you remember that your success in life is defined not by money or things. Instead, it is determined by the connections and memories you make with the people you care about. Those connections are what make life worth living. Those connections are what make us feel whole. Those connections are what bring us true happiness. So remember, leave your comfort zone, learn from your mistakes, and place value in the connections and memories you create with others. Thank you for teaching me these things and more. It's because of you that I made it this far in teaching, and it's all of you that will make me keep on going. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, before we go, I got 2 more things. I promise I'm almost done. Let's go to that homework we talked about earlier. It's not so much homework. Instead, let's think of it as audience participation. And parents, family, friends, you're going to participate in this one too. Some of you young folks might not be familiar with Fred Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but I'm willing to bet that many of you loved ones here remember him. Mr. Rogers was a huge inspiration to me personally, and I would be honored to end our time together in the same way that he was known to when he gave a speech, by giving everyone in attendance some time to reflect and appreciate how they got here. He would say something like this: I'd like to give you all an invisible gift, a gift of a silent minute to think about those who have helped you become who you are today. Some of them may be here right now, some of them may be far away, but wherever they are, if they have loved you and encouraged you and wanted what was best in life for you, they're right inside yourself. And I feel that you deserve quiet time on this special occasion to devote some thought to them. So let's take 1 minute in honor of those who have cared about us all along the way. There's a lot of hustle and bustle with today's festivities. I think it's important to just take some time to think about who has helped you get to the place that you are sitting right now. Parents, family members, please join in. Have someone in mind. Think about that person and the memories you shared with them. I'll keep the time up here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Time's up. When Mr. Rogers would come back after the minute of reflection, he would say, whomever you've been thinking about, imagine how grateful they must be that during your silent times, you remember how important they are to you. It's not the honors and the prizes and the fancy outsides of life which ultimately nourish our souls. It's the knowing that we can be trusted, that we have to never fear the truth, that the bedrock of our lives from which we make our choices is very good stuff. In conclusion, I hate conclusions. Ending always makes me sad, whether it's a book or a great TV show or movie, or in the times I have with the people I care about most. Oftentimes I say to students, this isn't a goodbye, this is a see you later or a bye for now. But now may very well be a goodbye. In times like these, I look back on a quote that is often attributed to A.A. Milne, the author of the Winnie the Pooh books. I think this quote encapsulates exactly how I'm feeling and how some of you might be feeling today. Here we go. How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. You all make saying goodbye so hard, but I'm excited to see what you do next. Thank you, class of 2022. I'm so proud of you. Go out into the world and do your best. Good luck and goodbye.
Having met all the requirements set forth by the state of Wisconsin and the Somerset Board of Education, we will now present the class of 22 with diplomas from Somerset High School.
Landon Kenneth Inez. Noah Charles Bailey. Hope Elizabeth Belargin. Aiden Zachary Ballard. William Connor Barclay. Grace Avery Barrett. Anna Caroline Bartig. Brianna Marie Bartelt. Brecken Allen Bove. Zachary Michael Bell.
Tyler Joseph Butcher. Evelina Ann Briggs. Joseph Warren Bubash. Jack Ryan Casey. Hunter William Chapman. Micaiah Lynn Connor. Sydney Rose Cook. Emma Maxine Crotty. Samantha May DeGeest. Emily Ruth Driscoll.
Rogan Matthew Duff. Charlotte Cecilia Eichton. Anna May Erickson. Isabella Gray Fagan. Leonardo Christian Fay. Payne Christensen. Emily Rose Marie Fitch. Gabriel Lee Fortner. Jaden Jean Freeberg. Jaden Alexandria Fries.
Olivia Elaine Garley. Parker Mitchell Gebheim. Jordan Gabriel German. Antonio Miguel Gomez. Mackenzie Joy Gao. Dominic Shane Hansen. Tiffany Marie Hansbarger. Brock William Harris. Kennedy Elizabeth Hardy. Kennedy Ray Hockham.
Connor North Hensley. Grant Christopher Hoff. Rory Ryan Hoff. Madison Alexis Hollister. Charles Weston Hammond II. Aaron Taylor Herda. Mackenzie Megan Hewitt Thompson. Elias Marshall Jessica. Cole William Kelly. Dylan Leo Kanega.
Ashley May Kneffelkamp. Drew Haley Krybeck. Charlie Stephen Cronforst. Alexander John Lang. Megan Christine Lars. Mackenzie Lee Lesha. Audrey Louise Leonard. Joseph Daniel LaRue. Tally Imogene Schumann Lewis. Maya Marie May Lytle.
Madeline Grace Linka. Sean Michael Luloff. Haley Rose Martin. Cole Stephen McConaughey. Reese Jonathan Mashevik. Jenelise Vet Medina Ortiz. Nicholas Philip Meyer. Emma Lee Miller. Madison Lynn Miller. Savion Laurel Mull.
Isaac Christopher Nelson. Jacob Russell Nerby. Eleanor Maxine Odell. Rowan Elizabeth Ohay. Briley Ray Olson. Bianca Camille Ortega. Logan Frederick Parnell. Maggie Jean Pelletier. Samuel Wallace Preeb. Emily Lucille Richard.
Frederick John Richard. Roxanne Marie Ring. Aaron James Risto. Ziana Grace Revard. Patricia Rodriguez Alonso. Kaylee Ann Christian Rogers. Liam Kent Rohow. Corey James Rose. Jacob Armand Ross. Michaela Marie Samper.
Leslie Shirlene Sanchez. Samantha Abigail Santos. Caitlin Marie Shader. Connor Joseph Schilling. Juliana Therese Schimmel. Samuel Joseph Schmidt. William Joseph Schottler. Melina Jean Cisco. Serenity Camille Slayton. Paige Elizabeth Soderstrom.
Cole Kenneth Spillman. Torsten Albert Strom. Connor Allen Taylor. Levi Tetrault. Tori Lynn Thorson. Bryce Edwin Tonjes. Kayla Ann Tollickson. Madison Marshall Troutmiller. Pebbles Brooke Vanas. Samantha Jean Vanas. Anna Christine Walker.
Lauren Renee Walters. Julia Ray Warren. Ethan Peter Waskell. Rachel May Webb. Allison May Webster. Mackenzie Leela Weeks. Bryce Matthew Wayand. Landon Thomas Wilson. Matthew William Woolner. Madeline Ann Young. Hallie Faith Zanow. Just 1 second. Paige, stand up. I messed up your name, Paige, sorry. Paige Elizabeth Soderstrom.
That was fun. All right. Class of 2022, please rise. At this time, you may move your tassel. Ladies and gentlemen, I formally present to you the 2022 graduating class of Somerset High School.